Peace. Hope y'all can hear me. My ears been kind of fucked up. But oh yeah, let me get my Instagram up too. I don't go live on anything no more. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it in tonight one time for the mind. Fuck. Hold on, yeah, I got y'all. Give me a second.
In-home starting screensaver.
So. There we go. All right, so my bad. Had to get my Instagram together too. So, like I said, this CRypT of the mind, this Ultrainstinct book 2, Dysmal CRypT of the mind. You choose how you relate to the stimuli that's created in this world, this outer world. Now, first of all, you got to understand that there's more than one world. You have to learn how to break things from general to dynamic. When you break things from general to dynamic, it changes everything. But you got to make them dynamic for you. You got to be intricate with your thoughts. If you don't like something, understand why you don't like it. Don't just go around, oh, I don't like shit. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, what brought me to do this video today is because the last few months I've been fucked up. I've been homeless. I've been out here in the streets, you know what I'm saying? My family. And a lot of the time, since I've been out here, because I'm still homeless now, since I've been out here, I had like a real bad mindset. Like I was like fucked up, like emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially. I couldn't get it together. At all. And I didn't have time to get it together because it just seemed like shit was moving so fast. Plus, some of y'all might not want to believe it, but you know, this Mercury retrograde, you know, make communication all fucked up. So it's not only communication between you and others, it's communication between you and yourself. Anyway, so the different states of mind that I've been in, I've always, you know, I can't say I've always known, but I've had a teacher, and my teacher taught me the 7 Hermetic principles. And the 7 Hermetic principles always kept me grounded, always kept me tied to the earth, always kept me, you know what I'm saying, from being too deep in some, you know what I'm saying, what's the word I'm looking for? Being too deep in some pseudo shit versus reality. You feel me? Now, here's where shit get tricky. Pseudo is some shit, meaning that it's fake, basically. It's some shit that a collective mind came up with, and then they produced it to other minds, and now it's an idea, an ideology of maybe one of those if things, almost like creating a servitor. That's kind of like the analogy I give for the God of the Bible. It's a big servitor that's been created. Y'all don't even know who controlling the servitor. But anyway, I'm getting into that. Since I've been out here, I've been having real fucked up states of mind. And I've had Crohn's disease since I was 7 years old. It's the marijuana smoke. So I had Crohn's disease since I was 7 years old. And all the things that's happened to my body as of lately have been like the worst shit ever. Like, first of all, the past 7 years of my life, I've been on a medicine, one of the so-called strongest medicines man came up with, called Remicade, for Crohn's disease. Crohn's disease is uncurable. It's hereditary. If you don't know nothing about it, Google it, look it up on YouTube. But it's a genetic disease, it's a stomach illness, and it's autoimmune. It can attack you in whatever way it feels. I'm damn near giving life to the disease. this is my enemy. This is, you know what I'm saying? That shit
Turning
has
off
no life
display in
anyway.
30 seconds.
It's part of the struggle though. You know what I'm saying? That's my inner
Turning off
stimuli
display in
that's making me
25
react
seconds.
on the outer.
Turning off
Now,
display in 20 seconds.
when we first got out here homeless, I was just
Turning off display
angry.
in 15 seconds.
I blamed the world. I was frustrated. And prior
Turning
to
off
us
display in
being
10
homeless, I knew a
seconds.
month prior that we were going to be homeless.
Turning off
You know what I'm
display in
saying?
5 seconds.
We already knew we had to
Powering
go
off.
because of the situation that a person put us in. I can't even say a person because I'm a magician. I manifest my own situations, which just brings me back to a state of mind. Now, the state of mind that I was in was like, damn, I just lost everything I own. Like I own the house or some shit. I lost everything I own. I don't have my comfort space. You know what I'm saying? I got a newborn daughter. She didn't feel comfortable in nobody's house. She still don't. She can't sleep without, hearing her some rap music or hearing daddy talk or knowing that I'm close. But anyway. So the more I stressed, the more I had to beg and borrow. My skin actually started to shed, started to break out. I'm just now kind of coming up out of the flare. Born Universal Truth. My skin would crack in weird places and bleed and, stomach hurt and all the Crohn's disease symptoms on top of new ones. And then within the last 3 years, I've accumulated Crohn's induced arthritis. So at the same time, my stomach hurting, my bones hurting, and my skin itching and throbbing in different places. On top of, I'm in a situation that's clouding my mind to where I can't psychologically help myself. Because you actually have to believe 70% of the doctor's medication works by you believing it, hence quantum physics. The reason why I make spiritual weapons, quantum physics, not only quantum physics, but electromagnetic mechanics. If you look at it, it's the same science that Ptah was using back in ancient Egypt, but we'll get into that some other time. But parts of Born Universal Truth. So I started to go to the hospital a lot more often. I was in the hospital like out of, I say in the last, when we become August, since August, I've been in hospital, hospitalized, meaning being in the hospital for 2 or more days. Like having a room up in that bitch. I don't want to give you an outrageous number, but I'm gonna give you a realistic number. So let me count them. 8 times. 8 times within like 4 or 5 months. You know what I'm saying? Which is not usual for me because usually my Crohn's is controlled because I'm a magician. And I just feel like that's my shadow self, you know what I'm saying, getting the best of me. Because when I get into flares, I'm like the worst person to be around. I'm like, I don't even like myself at those times. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with saying that because, you know what I'm saying, that's another state of mind. You know what I'm saying? I can like myself at that time and not dislike myself at that time. It's just, you know what I'm saying, states of mind because of outer stimuli. This is a state of mind for me that manifests from inner stimuli. You know what I'm saying? Which is the reason why I don't see why people complain. Okay, we have a lot of outer stimuli. Okay, we're gonna break down this word, the way the Father used to do it, the way the gods used to do it. You know what I'm saying? I came into the metaphysical science through the lessons. The lessons was the keys to the universe. The universe opened up to me, and I added on the elevator to self. Hence, Ultrainstinct, Master Elegant. You know what I'm saying? Rare form. It's my rare form. So when I started to notice that my body was doing this, and I started to notice that it was because of my mindset, I had to take back and double check myself. You know what I'm saying? I had to see what I was doing. It's the ripple effect. You know what I'm saying? Once the pebble, once the pebble is dropped in the water, the ripples go, and it affects everything, be it large, small, you know, and that is the way the mind works. That's the way quantum physics works. That's the way atoms work. That's the way everything in the universe works. Universal mind. All coming on the same accord. God is just minerals coming together to complete a particular task. You know what I'm saying? Good orderly direction. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got good orderly direction. Y'all energies guided in the right way, the right path. You go a particular direction. Yet we have not been taught, or nobody has propagated that we have different selves. Like people talk to themselves, people have an angry self. That, you know what I'm saying? It's one supreme self. Yet you have all these other entities. It's like the spook god that they say that's in the Bible. That's you. That's not no, you know what I'm saying? That's you. And the people that's going through the shit in, you know what I'm saying, the Sun Book, the people that's going through the shit, them your different thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Now, what you want to do is try to be in the mind state of the character Job. You know, no matter what happened to Job, he was grateful. No matter what happened, he blessed the name of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Who is the name of the Lord? What is the name of the Lord? The name of the Lord is a state of mind that you go into so that you can block off those negative vibrations, so you can heighten the first hermetic principle to its highest capability, which is, wait for it now, mind. Mind is everything. That's the first hermetic principle, which I've said this in past videos. You know what I'm saying? Mind is the first hermetic principle. So with mind being the first hermetic principle, the first thing you got to do is get your mind right. You got to get shit in order. You have to clear out some of the mansions. You have to empty your cup. You have to solidify real from fake. And not in a sense of the way that the world view is. You have to take the tools that you've been given, and manifest your reality. All of us haven't been given the same tools, yet you got tools. Some of us are born in different parts of the world, different, you know what I'm saying, under different parents, under different religion, under different rites of passage, yet we all was given tools. We was given tools from people in the past who's used these tools, and they were proven to work, which is solidified by their documents that they kept on the work that they did, which everybody does that. Like a lot of people do that. Some people take mental notes. If you take mental notes, the notes pretty much going to die with you unless you know what I'm saying, verbally transferred into somebody else. Anyway, back to the states of mind. Now, I was in a state of mind of like self-destruction. Like everything is going wrong. Everything. I mean, everything. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. Like my whole thinking process was like so inverted. I ain't gonna say inverted. It was so upside down compared to the natural thinking of the self. Now that I look back as I'm going through this transition phase, which I'm able to make this video because I'm going through the transition phase now, because now I've analyzed what it was. I dissected it. I've learned from it. And I'm using the experience to propel me forward in the future to be on a higher elevation of self. So, henceforth, me bringing this video. Now, I was thinking like this for months. And I was just thinking like, my mind kind of shifted a little bit. I started to reteach myself about energy again, because everything is mind. You have to cultivate the mind in order, you know what I'm saying, to bear, good fruit. You don't want to plant no seeds in your mind and then your mind start to grow these badass fruits, and these fruits drop and they have seeds, and those seeds create other trees with badass fruits. So you have to cultivate your mind. And it's not cultivating your mind with the things society, not necessarily the society you live in, but general society in general tells you that how you have to cultivate your mind. As far as, learning about all this old high-tech super, spaced out ass shit. Everything is not even that hard. It's a state of mind. It's a state of being. Being means to exist in a physical form. So what is mind? See, mind is a word that really has to be used carefully when dealing in specific sciences in today's society, such as, let's say, for instance, biology. We don't want to say mind in biology, or psychology. We don't want to say mind. We say brain. Why? Because we're talking about a physical process that occurs on a physical plane. When you say mind, you're talking about something that can't be seen with the physical eye. So, change something that you can't even see is basically what I'm telling you to do, which sounds moronic, to say the least. Yet, this is a major key. The two keys I was given was affirm and deny, which was I was told was the silver and gold keys. You know what I mean? Affirm who you are, deny what you aren't. And don't be afraid to tell yourself the truth. Look, I can't even smoke the blunt because I got the deodorant so heavy. Don't be afraid to tell yourself the truth. Now, the truth ain't always what the fuck you want it to be. It's definitely never what the fuck you want it to be. The truth just is. It's some shit that don't change no matter what happens. Or it hasn't been proven to change. Let's say that. Hasn't been proven to change. Now, in my 31 years of living, I've noticed everything to change. Things grow. Things decay. You know what I'm saying? Things deform. So that's pretty much the growth process. Yet the growth process, when you're going through the growth process, whether you're decaying or you're growing, you get things that come to you that help you adapt to the environment, whether it's taught by somebody else or the people before you, or whether you just instinctively know it. One thing that we instinctively know is our minds is usually our problems. That's usually the problem. Our mind. Why? Because we can't tame it. Scientists were saying that the whole reason the mind exists is to dream. So if the whole reason the mind exists is to have a non-physical experience, makes me want to question a few things about our modern day science's ideology on everything. Especially when, I started to read about quantum physics. I started to read about, the hermetic principle, things of that nature. And I learned about, vibrating the ether so and so, so my man, like Noble Drew Ali would say, when I learned what that fuck that shit was talking about, when I learned to come into myself, when I learned that being comfortable with yourself is hard. It's hard to accept yourself. It's hard to accept shit that you just be like, oh, this ain't supposed to happen. Everything in your universe you created to happen, it happened for a reason. And you're the reason it happened. No more, no less. Yeah, I thought I was gonna get all deep and philosophical with that shit. No. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find some scissors to cut this cotton. I don't know. I'll get them when I'm done. So when I got back to feeding my mind proper nourishment, I got to realize, like, hey, wait a minute. I'm going about this shit the wrong way because I'm thinking about this shit the wrong way. I'm giving this shit power over the one thing that I know for sure that I, self, me, nobody else has power over is my mind. That's one of those things that prison, like, what can I say? Prison, like, propagated for me. It was like, you are in your own mind. You are in your own visuality. You are yours in your own right. You know what I'm saying? You ask to be created in your own right. You know, shit happens to you. I need to cut this shit out. I'm gonna just bend it to death. But yeah, shit happens. And shit happens because of you. If you're not a man enough or woman enough or God enough or strong enough to understand that, guess what? That's on you again. As it being 111, you know what I'm saying? 1, 2, 3. We're gonna break this shit down to 3 levels. You feel me? And not like 1s and 3s that manifest master degrees. Anyway. So the first way we're gonna break this shit down is your judgment, self-judgment. Let's say your judge self. This the motherfucker that's always in your mind, like, nigga, that's gay. Nigga, we don't wear that. Nigga, do I sound like that? Oh, I want to do that to them. Like, this is the motherfucker that's always making judgment. This the nigga that was given laws by your environment, by your upbringing, by, you know, whatever star system you came from, and manifested yourself on whatever landmass here on this plane or this so-called physical realm. And this is what you had to do. This is what you had to do. You had to come have this experience. You had to come have this experience so you could understand first states. Now, colonies, states, countries, these are all entities. These are all the same thing, just different levels of it. Let me break it down. Now, sleep, woke, dead, alive. Those are 4 states. Those are 4 states you know that every human constantly go through. Those are 4 states that you know you can suffer mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Those are also states, bodies, or whatever you want to call them. States are also bodies. We're in this state, meaning the state I live in, or my state of health, or my state of mind, or my state of understanding. It's a state. A state is a body or a collective. Now, back to the judge, motherfucker. Now, the judge state or the judge self is the one you need to go to and rewrite those books. Matter of fact, kick his ass all the way out. Because the first thing he's judging is you. And he's judging all yourselves based on someone else's ideology, whether it be fundamental or general. most people don't take the time in life to sit down and figure out what they believe in, what they stand on, what is their understanding, where they want to, you know what I'm saying? As a shout out to Kelly Rosiano, she always do them astrology videos. Anyway, like she say, you gotta follow your soul desire. And following your soul desire is uncomfortable. But if you don't, I'm here to tell you you're gonna go through some shit. First of all, your soul desires to have control over its realm, its seat, its throne, the mind. So when you say, I should have followed my first mind, I told myself, you know what I mean? Peace to the Rastafarians, respect brothers. They say I and I. You know what I'm saying? The self always tell you shit. It's just shit you just cannot keep self from trying to tell you, like off rip. I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? You have to feed these different states in order to keep these states healthy for you to sustain on this physical realm. So basically what I'm telling you is I was in a fucked up state of mind because of my judge, and I was judging my reality based on other people's ideology, which is not what God's do. We create and we destroy. That's just on the basic level. That's not to get into dynamics. We're not getting into dynamics, but create and destroy is what most people know about this word. This I'm trying to think of what we can call it, because it's really not a word. It's more like a idea, energy. You know what I mean? A power that can be tapped into and used in multiple different realms in multiple different ways. Anyway, the God energy. You know what I'm saying? When you finally come into being and start to know that I exist, I got my own thoughts. That ain't how I want to sound. That ain't how I want to look. That's that judge coming back in. That's when the self, the true self, comes in like, hey, actually, I do like that. I haven't took the time to sit down with myself and really figure out what it was that I like. So let's not take that from my life. Or I remember as a child, I didn't like things like that because they did this to me. So I'm going to remove this from my life in order to advance it. You see what I'm saying? So you must take the judge's job and go rewrite them fucking law books. Some shit we wish we can do over here, which we really don't need to do because, like I said, we manifested all of this shit. It's a way through it all. So now, once you go through and you change the judge's law books, you got to go to a side some motherfuckers don't like to really agree that exists, that poor me state of mind. You know what I mean? That, oh, I did this, I got this going on, I got that going on. Well, I bet you was a bunch of motherfuckers who could reflect the same energy you got going on. Hold on, y'all. Let me get the charger to my laptop, bro.
Jay.
Yeah.
No.
I'm doing this YouTube video. I'm about to be finished. And jumped on my video talking about come on.
That's what I know.
I was building too, and I gotta finish it, and I gotta post it because I'm live. Anyway, back to the States. Now you have to go deal with that poor me state of mind. The poor me state of mind is the, oh, I got this going on. Oh, this hurts. Or I need help with this and that. That is not going to advance you in no way, shape, form, or fashion. That's just your other self, your emotional self, being swept away by the emotions that already exist from the Sti-Mu-LI, from the root of the physical plane, where you lie at, where your body rests at. Your physical body rests on the physical plane. You're the root of everything that happens where you lay at. So with you being in that state of mind of that poor me, all this, all that, you always get poor me shit that happens to you. You know what I mean? You get down bad and have motherfuckers looking at you. Oh man, I feel bad for dog. Like I done fucked up my Instagram live, got my shit all down there. Instagram it? Nope. Anyway. Yeah. So you will have yourself descend into a depression, into a state of overly substance abusing, overly self-medicating, overly indulging in things that you think are helping you. Too much of anything can kill you. I don't care what it is. Too much of anything can kill you. So you start to indulge in, the things you once thought you got pleasure from, you start to indulge in them in order to heal your pain because you chasing another state of mind, that poor me state of mind, that pleasure, and you actually get a sense of pleasure or gratification from that poor me state of mind when somebody like, oh, here you go, this gimme shit mind state. And that shit is a stagnant state of mind. It keeps you stagnated in a sense of you feel like you can't do nothing for yourself. Not that everything is not interdependent. Everything is not separate, but at the same time, it is. We're multidimensional. So you have to consciously understand what multidimensional is. It means living or being in two different places at one time. You feel me? Which, let's say, okay, I'm in Michigan and I'm in the house. In two different dimensions. Then, that's just on a lower scale so you can understand it. You feel me? So when you come into that particular state, the whole energy is just like you here. You're down, you're never coming up, you're not good enough, I hate you. This is the type of shit you start telling yourself. You start to want to commit suicide. I know I tried to commit suicide plenty of times. Not only like fast, like trying to commit suicide, like, some bullshit that I will never bring up. I ain't giving niggas ideas if y'all don't fuck shit like that. But anyway. But then was one of the demons I fought because I was in that poor me mind state because I grew up in a household where it was a lot of tough love. I grew up not thinking that I was loved. I had abandonment issues. Then I grew to understand as I got, a little emotionally intellectual. I start to understand that I did have love. I had a lot of love. I had more love than a lot of the people I come in contact with today. But I grew up feeling as though I had none. Like when me and my siblings get into it, we get into it hard. And we get into it hard only because of the way we was raised, because we didn't feel no love. You know what I'm saying? We felt loyalty, or we felt an obligation to, because that's what we was taught, that we was obligated to shit. We wasn't taught to think for ourselves. We was taught that we was born to think like everybody else around us, basically, you know, robot type shit. It wasn't that people didn't take the initiative to try to grow and give us the proper tools to, you know what I'm saying, sustain on this realm. It's just everybody on this realm don't have the same time to do that shit. At the same time, you have to take the mirror and look at yourself like, damn, poor me. What the fuck am I crying for? You know what I'm saying? If you have a problem, the best thing to do is get up and change it. Now, I like to tell people when I have a sit down and have an intimate conversation with them, I like to tell them, one thing about me is I'm willing to deal with all the consequences and repercussions that comes with being me, because I'm comfortable with being me and I know how uncomfortable being yourself is. Some people laugh at me. Some people say I'm crazy. You know, some people don't deal with me. Some people fuck with me. Some people fuck with me the long way. Some people call me intelligent. Some people call me enlightened. Some people call me bright. You know what I'm saying? Then I got a million other, you know, I'm called a million different things. But the one who masters the mind is the one who can listen to any and everybody's ideology and not subscribe to none of that shit. That's the same way with your state of mind. When you're going through something, let your mind go through what it's going through. Don't subscribe to none of that shit. Don't judge yourself for how you feeling or what you're going through. Don't judge yourself for what you got to go through in order to get yourself to that higher level, because it's a journey. It's a journey. You're in this state to go to another state. Like I said, from the way that I've studied life my 31 years, I'm not an expert, but I've seen everything either get better or get worse. It either grows or decays. And usually if it decays, that means it's grown to its fullest capabilities. It can no longer do any good for no one else. So it starts to decay. It starts to do bad. And this is what happens when you're dealing with that poor me mindset. I can't get out of it. I can't do it. I remember those days I couldn't get out the fucking bed. And I said, I can't get out the bed. I remember saying shit, I can't eat. You know what I mean? I remember saying I can't move. I can now. Why? The only thing that's holding you back is your mind. So you have to go in your mind and control those states. The first state you have to get together is the state of the supreme self. Because once you get the supreme self under control, don't let nobody else identify your supreme self. That's a lot of people issues. That's a lot of the reason why a lot of us can't communicate and be intellectual individuals without having to resort to alternate ways of communication that leads to, you know, somebody having to get hurt. I read in this book of quotes, it says, war only happens when men or women intellect fails somewhere. It's when you change states of mind. It's when you start dealing in feelings. It's when you stop thinking ain't shit funny. You know what I mean? Meaning shit ain't a game, but it's still funny. You know what I mean? To the point where that laughter was more like an inch of growth or water being poured on a starving plant. You have to laugh at some shit sometime. It's the music of the soul. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta laugh at your situation in order to bring yourself into a whole nother state of mind. So you can step back and look at the way you're reacting to the stimuli, to this physical plane that you're rooted in as of now. Because I'm gonna tell you like this. I know personally, I've been sick as fuck. I'm still sick now. And I'm just now getting back into myself to where I can, I'm getting back into my esoteric science. I'm getting back into my electromagnetic energy and refocusing myself on self in order to manifest self properly, to self and others. You can't deal properly at all with no entity that exists without knowing how to deal with yourself first. When you know yourself, you know everybody else. And that could be a dangerous statement as well. Because people really don't know themselves sometimes until the situation shows them to themselves, which is the stimuli. That's the foundation, the stem. You know what I mean? It's the branch stem. You know what I'm saying? When I think of stem, I think of a branch of a tree. And when I hear stem, you know what I mean? You, your own universe, you know what I mean? You rock it with me. Lie. Stem, you, lie. Lie can mean to rest, or lie can mean to not tell the truth. Lie can also be a chemical. A chemical that we all have, that's all in everything. And you know what I'm saying? Well, it's in our body, but too much of it can destroy you. And not knowing how to use lie, the actual chemical, can kill a motherfucker. That shit, they had lying deodorant in prison and soap in prison, and that shit broke me all across my chest. I had red bumps all across my shit. Stimuli. You know what I'm saying? That word manifests itself on every plane there is. Just like responsibility, which is another word that connects to my bad, y'all. I was on that for a minute. Responsibility is another word that connects to states of mind, because you have the ability to respond to the stimuli. You know what I'm saying? And then we using the word too. If you manifest the word too using the supreme sword from the culture, you'll understand that, you know what I'm saying, them is wise words spoken. You know what I mean? So you have to speak these wise words to yourself, to the foundation. You have to know yourself, meaning you have to know your edge, know your ledge. You have to know where you'll fall off. You have to know what shit you're not willing to do, what shit you are willing to do. What do you want? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice to get the state of life or the state of mind or the state of health that you want? Which I'm glad I'm doing this video, because I feel like I'm talking more only to myself than anybody else. Because my mind right now is a reflection of my health. My health has been up and down. So has my mind. And I haven't actually sit down like I'm doing now. What I'm doing now is mindful meditation. What I'm doing now is getting a grip on it, setting it down. Like, listen, reflection. Settle down. Look at what you own. Look what it's doing to your body. Look where you're starting to fail and becoming the best version of yourself, which you have devoted your life to since the year 2014. I mean, I know that's not that far ago, long ago, but when I vow on something, that's just that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Taurus. I don't change my mind too much. If I fuck with you, I fuck with you. Until stimuli, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Change that. You know? I do this shit called anyway. We ain't even get into that. Now we're gonna get into the supreme self. Now the supreme self is the one that sits back and give you that advice out of nowhere, or gives you that dream, and you go into that dream and you pull whatever the fuck out that dream and you bring it here and you have it in your hand. You don't have it in your hand physically yet, but you have it here, i.e., computers, phones, refrigerators, microwaves, houses, wanting to be warm. You see what I'm saying? Your mind go through these different states and reacts. Yet, are you reacting properly? And what would be the proper way to act in a particular situation? How would you know the proper way to act in a particular situation, a given situation? You don't. Yet you have the ability to respond. And you can only respond based on who you are, or based on who somebody made you. And you're only who somebody made you if you have it, then your inventory check of who you are. Like, I know I do some weird shit. I know people be like, this nigga crazy. I walk around with this. I contemplated this. I found this in the middle of the street, literally in the middle of the street. Yeah, a story on it. I found it in the middle of the street, and I seen it. And it looked just so flimsy and weak. I'm like, but it was rolled over and everything. I'm like, that has been here a long time. You know how long it takes trees to grow branches that, come off of it like this long? In a couple hundred years. So I was just thinking, like, damn, the wisdom that this creature of earth has that I can't tap into. And it's been here over all this time. It deserved more than what it's getting from something or no thing that has manifested a world where this shit is not respected. But it's not respected only in our state of living. I don't see monkeys and dogs and cats ripping off branches and breaking them and throwing them at each other and making weapons. I don't see that. I see some using them in order to manipulate their environment in order to suit them. They use it to adapt. You know what I'm saying? But that's why it's there. It's one of the adapting tools for this realm of existence, the stem, the tree. So I picked it up out the street. I got it. I didn't know what I was going to do to it. The ethers vibrated so and so, like my bass say, you know what I'm saying? And I manifested this. And before I completely manifested this, I manifested the entity that I wanted to exist within it. Now, like I said, you got to get your mind right first. Become fucking with this shit. Actually, you need to get your mind right before you come fucking with this video at all. Matter of fact, this is the video you need to start fucking with your mind. Because if you don't start fucking with your mind, other people will. People play mind games. People play emotional games. People even play spiritual games. Me, I'm not into none of that shit. But ain't shit funny? Because I know how to play. You know what I'm saying? I know how to wear different hats. And I know how to be in my supreme self and sit back and look at everything as indifference. Indifference is the hardest state of mind to achieve, especially over here in this Western world. Like, it's hard to let go. Emotional attachments, mental attachments, physical attachments, spiritual attachments. It's hard to let go. Anything is just hard to let go. Some people are hoarders. Some people haven't let go of their childhood clothes. Some people are still, you know what I'm saying, still holding on to childish ideas. Some people are still holding on to things that have proven themselves to be false because they can't let go, because they're afraid of the unknown. This is where the Supreme Self comes in to help. This is where you have to learn to use the golden key. Deny. I'm not less than human. I'm not less deserving than another person. I'm strong enough to do this. I can do this at least. I can do that. You know what I'm saying? We don't even need to get on the I'ma stop this, I'ma stop. No, ain't no I'ma do nothing. That's not a conversation you need to be having with yourself. Because most of the time we say, oh, I'm gonna do it, and you're telling this to somebody else. It's pretty much a low vibration that's being put out because it has no real emotion or energy or feeling behind it. That's the shit that shakes the ethers. Them states of mind is how you use your electromagnetic energy to shape your universe. I'm just really learning to tap into it. I'm new to esoteric science, period. I'm still a noun born to culture. You know what I'm saying? But born universal truth, the way things is manifested to me, I find it within myself to manifest it the way that I was given. Within myself. I have my own seat. Self-style wisdom, as a father called it. And we all have to develop that self who's indifferent to anything and anybody else and only bows to itself. Like, I'm gonna give you all a bill that, you know what I'm saying, the God Son of Sar gave me when I was sitting in the penitentiary. We was building on certain things, and we was building on the misunderstanding of the Sun Scrolls, i.e. the poison book, i.e. the Bible. And the sun manifested a bill that was so peace that I recreated every time that I tell it, because it was just beautiful. Sunlight. Let me get a character. Sunlight. Sun, see, people don't even understand the whole manifestation of the of Genesis. Why? I don't know which one it was, y'all. So fuck it. Why Cain kill Abel? I think I don't know who. But y'all follow me. Y'all probably don't even know who, because I know 90% of them people who probably gonna watch this probably love the Bible but don't even read the motherfucker. Anyway, so he says, son, you know, Cain kill Abel. And you know, Elohim, y'all know Elohim breaks down to gods and goddesses. You know what I'm saying? Goddess Entertainment Gang. Anyway, breaks down to gods and goddesses. And it also breaks down, it corresponds with the Yahé Bahé and the 5 elements and the breath. And anyway, we'll get into that sooner or later. So the son said, son, why didn't God kill him like he did his brother, son? I said, because this is all just an allegory talking about within self. Yeah. That's peace. We already know that. We gods. We know that everything is allegory. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to add on, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to crack atoms with the God, because the God's supreme. You know what I'm saying? The God don't give out no baby food. Now the son say, he say elegant. No, just like the devil. God didn't kill the devil. He let him do what he wanted to do. He didn't kill Cain. He put 3 sevens on his head. And we know in any metaphysical science, and of course, in the science I believe in wholeheartedly, it says 7 means God, means the perfect man. The logos, the 7, when you come into yourself and you know what I'm saying, you know who you is, you know who you is, you know your power. You feel me? That's what the 7 is. So the son saying, he put 3 sevens on his head, God. I'm like, damn. He said, now sit back and think about that before you answer. So I did. He said the 7 sevens, the 3 sevens was on his head because 7 3 times manifests 21, a misunderstanding. He was the patriarch to allegories being misunderstood. I said, how so? He said, because he killed his brother because he was bowed down to something other than himself. He bowed to God and gave him them fruits. Or was it? Yeah, it was the fruits. He bowed to him and gave him the fruits. He bowed to Sti-Mu-Li. You feel what I'm saying? This is what the God was trying to get me to understand all those years ago in the penitentiary when we was sitting down there on that motherfucking in that day room, pretending to watch TV, just trying to stay out the way of the C cipher so they can't be, you know what I'm saying, keep being satellites and shit we building on because they always see the gods as a threat. Shit, we is. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially. We don't even want no smoke physically because we just too powerful in any other way. So why in the fuck do we want a physical battle? As y'all can see, a black man just made the machine to pull water out the air, gave it to Flint, Michigan. So, like I said, this is, you know what I'm saying, a misunderstanding. This is why he had the 3 sevens on his head because he understood the misunderstanding that was going on there. So he manifested himself as God 3 times. You see what I'm saying? 3 is the number of understanding. Understanding is the best part. You feel me? Understanding is when you done the 1 that got the 2. And you put it together and manifest the 3. That's what it is. And that's how you free your mind. Because once he sent that nigga off with the 7 sevens on this nigga head, said anybody who touched you will be dead and will be cursed. Anybody. Then he went to the people of Nod and got the fucking hoes and whatever, you know. I mean, the Bible's the greatest story ever told. Niggas just got to look at it properly. It's an allegorical book first and foremost. What? My lighter's on. It's an allegorical book first and foremost. Secondly, they got a bunch of hidden meanings that a lot of you motherfuckers not even ready for. Thirdly, all these prayers and shit y'all saying out of your mouth, y'all not even ready to be releasing these entities upon this plane within your life. You can't even control your own fucking mind. All you got to do is tap into the supreme self, your spirit guide, you know what I'm saying? Your strength, your inner strength. Your inner strength. Just simple as that. Just tap into you. Like, if you can, sit back, chill, in silence. It can be in the bathroom on the toilet, just chill. And just monitor the thoughts that go through your head. Don't judge them. Don't react to them. Don't repeal. It's going to fly through your head. It's going to go. You know what I'm saying? You don't be swayed by the shit that's going through your head. Because it's not the shit that you manifested. It's the stimuli. And this shit actually can change your DNA makeup if you allow the self to feed into it and not control your fucking mind. Now, I'm not the best at controlling my mind. Let me say this. Sometimes I let my anger get the best of me. It's very, 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 very rare. But I've been known to. This is a documented thing from friends and family, even doctors. This, you know what I'm saying? That's just part of who I am. But for the most part, that is not the state of mind I'm in or the state of mind I want to be. That's the state of mind I try to control when I get there. So, with me controlling my mind as of right now in this state, I just set this state aside and lock it in. Like, remember how I felt sitting there on the toilet, me on the toilet, could be walking, could be in the rain, could be, you know what I'm saying, in the corner crying. And I just stop myself and I just listen to myself, listen to my thoughts. How often do people listen to you? How often do people listen to what you say? Now, how often do you take your own advice? Where do your advice come from that you give people? Do they come from experience, your own experiences? Or could that be coming from the DNA changing things that's in our outside world that we have? Let me find the proper way to put this in so y'all don't get confused. I want to break this down. I want to atomize this. Let me see. Okay. You know you get hot. You know you get cold. You know you get angry. You know you get hungry. You know, some of these states of mind are just states of being in the physical plane. First of all, differentiate those. These are, physical feelings. It's shit. I feel this shit because I'm here. I'm physical. I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm flesh and blood. I'm a flesh and blood human being. You know what I'm saying? My intellectual property belongs to me because I don't see any one of you there in my mind, in my intellectual state, or the state that I'm in when I hear the words that I'm finna manifest through my vocal cord, my tongue and lips. I don't hear you talking to me before. I don't hear nobody telling me, you know what I'm saying, the shit that I gotta say in my head. I feel the vibration of myself being like, oh, oh, oh. You know what I'm saying? From my supreme self setting back and not, I don't want to say indulging, say not interfering with the lessons that I gotta learn. You know what I'm saying? Like lately, I've been dealing in the shadows because it was the month of Sam. You know what I'm saying? We're going into November now, but I've been dealing in the shadows. I'm still dealing in the shadows because the shadows is a true you. What you do when other people aren't there. You know what I'm saying? What do you do when other people aren't around? Do you consider it civilized? What you do in front of somebody else? How do you feel when you do it? That's another thing you have to separate. You see what I'm saying? It starts there. Not to be so hard on yourself. Because like I said, the last few months, nigga, I've been extremely hard on myself. To the point where, even some of my divination tools were destroyed. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I ever showed any of my divination tools. But parts of Born Universal Truth, I'm down to 3 Oracle decks. I had some tarot decks, you know what I'm saying? I had 2 tarot decks and another Oracle deck. They got wet on the full moon and the rain, and they couldn't sustain. I know a lot of people who was in the shoes of those cards and did the same thing. Some of them I kept because I thought I could bring them back. And others I also kept so I could analyze them because I know they are a part of myself. I was somehow attracted to that energy in order to be dealing with a person who can manifest this type of circumstances. I had to be dealing in that energy. So I say that to say this. This was the energy I was in. This was the state of mind I was in, let's say, The 1st of November. This is how I felt. This is, let me show Instagram. Queen of Wands. See my shadow self and see self indifferent about everything. She ain't got a smile. She ain't got a mean look. She just indifferent. That's what coming to yourself brings, because you always gonna have a motherfucker who think less of you because they think less of themselves. Every person I come in contact with, I feel like is here to build me up, even if they have to destroy me some. Because you have to destroy the positivity and build the negativity. Like when they, like on old structures, they would tear down old structures and they will build anew on top of those old structures. But the energy from that old structure somehow will remain, because energy is never destroyed and it's never made, it's just reused. So you still got the energy of that structure there, you know what I'm saying, duplicating the energy it had once before in a minute wave. And then you have the new science or the new temple or the new building or the new state that's coming to existence or coming into that energy. You have that new state of being that manifests as a stronger energy, more powerful energy, because it has separated itself, knowing that all is one and all is not one at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Your mind exists in two realms. You have your brain and you have your mind. Science differentiates the two all the time. You can go Google that shit. And don't Google it regular. Be like, let me scientific dictionary. Or matter of fact, you can use a fucking a doctor's dictionary. You know what I'm saying? They got different dictionaries to use these energetic weapons, aka words. You know what I'm saying? In different states or different realms, like in court. Like in court, basically they feel like, nigga, if you don't know it, that's your fault. You know what I'm saying? You don't know nothing about this catching cases, crimes, and charges. Shit, you don't know about that shit. It's your fault. You don't know you're supposed to drive. You're not supposed to have. You're supposed to have your seatbelt on when you driving. That's on you. You should have knew that. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. You should have knew. Why should I have to know that? Why? Who made that a necessity for me to have to know in order for me to be my greatest ideal of myself? You know what I'm saying? It's certain rules and regulations that's naturally indigenous to this shell that we live in. It's just naturally indigenous to it. Like, you know, you have to use the restroom. You know, you have to dispose of physical waste. You know, you have to ingest things in order to sustain nutrition. It's not like it's a fucking rocket science. Yet, the mind is looked at as almost nothing. Like, this video to me is kind of like a tribute to mental health in the Black community, because a lot of us in the Black community don't know how to fucking sustain our mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to sustain through the pain. Some motherfuckers can't stand the rain, but the ice water inundated in my vein. You know what I'm saying? Which, you know, one of my bars, by the way, which is all I'm saying is, nigga, I went through a lot of shit, but I got accustomed to the fact that life is a fight. I got accustomed to the fact that the first rule of life, of any life that exists, on whatever realm it may be, is self-preservation. That's why trees grow so big. That's why grass don't grow that tall. That's why bugs are the size they are. All things are made to preserve itself, first and foremost. especially if they're put in that state to where they have to choose to sustain in this state or transmute. And depending on person, place, or thing, a lot of the times that shit ain't happen. That shit not what's up. You can even see in the animal kingdom. Motherfucking that motherfucking lion chasing that deer or that gazelle, that motherfucker don't want to die. It's using what it knows is self-preservation. At the same time, the lion is just as hungry because his first rule is the same rule as his. Self-preservation. So you have to emancipate yourself from all these person, place, things, and ideas that people have given you. And recreate yourself. You have to remanifest. This is one of the things I teach. Well, I try to teach, you know what I'm saying? I got the little website. Ain't nobody popped at me. I be trying to, because I went to school for social work and whatnot, psychology, psychology. And I have my own psychological issues myself. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't even know that in the Black community, rap is really a way to deal with our mental illnesses from post-traumatic stress disorder due to the things that we have to do to live by the rule of the number one rule of sustaining on this physical plane that you have no choice but to follow, usually self-preservation. That's why I said you have to get control over your mind. You have to be indifferent to those feelings that you be having. Yeah, you could talk them out. Don't talk too much. Because then when you use this little physical thing to create something spiritual, which is your words that you can't see but you can hear. So let's say it's spiritual. You creating more energy waves. You plucking those guitar strings and you're not plucking them to a good tune. You're probably plucking them to the tune that the universe wants you to pluck them to because you still haven't went through the school in life and found your Dajim. You know what I'm saying? And killed your brother for bowing down to something other than himself. Because you and I both know the natural rule and law of all things that live and exist on the physical plane is self-preservation. So think about that when you go in these specific states of being, such as anger, which is one of them that got me in prison, which was more like actually anger was masked by hurt because I was more hurt than angry because of other stimuli. What should have happened was I could have been indifferent. You feel me? And I could have understood the situation from a different angle and just continued to travel my journey. Instead, I was caught up within them spiritual and emotional demons that I created for myself, that I drew in through sexual intercourse, which is another way of opening self to another gate for another thing for self to have to control. You shouldn't even be having sex if you ain't got your fucking mind under control. That's like some real shit. That shit can fuck with your thinking. Even masturbating can fuck with your thinking. You have to have your shit under control. You can't tell the next man what the fuck he going through in his head. Because like I said, once I started to change my mind state, not to say You know what I'm saying? I had to recreate myself plenty of million times. I had to, in the culture, it's called restarting your Quran. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna restart my Quran again and go to Mecca and get bombed so I can, you know what I'm saying? But I gotta make 19. I got a sonic boom. Anyway, uh, when you come into you, you have to understand what makes you sad, what makes you happy. These is like small things that is detrimental to your survival if you don't know them. Why? Because if you let somebody push the wrong button, if you allow them, or you allow yourself to touch that emotion so deep that which emotion is something that's not physical either, but it does physical things like speed your heart rate up, uh, makes your breath harder, faster, or slower. Like, you know what I'm saying? Your eyes may squint, your body might tense up. So it does shit on the physical plane when you're mad, but it's a mind thing. You allow this person to manipulate your state, the only state that you really, really, really have control of. And a lot of us don't because of we wasn't raised like that. And then a lot of us was brought up in a Christian household, and this Christian way of thinking, this Christian ideology never gave us tools in order to control our mind. They got esoteric shit, but they don't teach no esoteric shit or no Baptist or no Christian church. You know what I'm saying? And then when you get into the shit that actually helps you control your mind, then you got to try to control your heart. Yeah, and your heart and mind is, you'll get into, like I said, everything is one, but everything is separate. It's the same thing, but it's different. You see, they got different jobs. You know what I'm saying? Different major jobs. Yet they both have eyes. Eyes that you can't see. Which one is the better filter for you? You can't allow a person to dictate how you respond to outer stimuli. Well, and you can. That's what school is for. That's what, you know what I'm saying? That's why you have teachers and professors. They're telling you how to respond to other people's stimuli. They tell you how to respond to, outer stimuli. They tell you how to respond to the outer world. You know what I'm saying? They're basically tell you how to interact with it. Which is peace. Like I said, they gave me some good tools, you know what I'm saying? But I don't use the tools to interact with the world. I use the tools in reverse in order to see how and why the world is interacting with me in this manner. Because one thing about you is you can't change you or where you go. And at all times you were prisoner in your own mind. Another one of my bars. Go check me out. But you know what I'm saying? You're there. You got to deal with this shit up here. You got to deal with the ninjas. You got to deal with them ghosts. You got to deal with, you know what I'm saying, the shit people put in your ear. You got to deal with the devil. You got to deal with God. You got to deal with heaven and hell. You got to deal with magic and spells. You got to deal with that shit. Or you can choose to ignore it. Like so many people I see do. And they don't really too much look like they live in a fulfilled life. I'm living a fulfilled life because I'm feeling it. I feel like I'm learning. I'm having an experience with any and everything I'm around and I touch. I've come to a state where I'm grateful for the good and the bad because it helped me manifest who I am today. And I know who I am today will touch somebody and transform them into a better person tomorrow. Hopefully. Just one person, I'll be straight. And it's all about controlling your mind, controlling different states, controlling them angles, them angels. You know, be God. You gotta see everything from 360 perspectives. You gotta be the devil's advocate sometimes. You gotta walk in the devil's shoes. Cause if you multi-dimensional, don't that mean everything else that exists is multi-dimensional? So that means possibilities exist within everything. And possibilities is the unknown. And unknown is what is called chaos. Any and all things can and will be manifested in chaos. From blackness, from non-physical being, from a state of you see? And it's the state of mind that controls what you pull out of that chaos because you are infinite interdimensional being that has the power and the capabilities to do this shit. It's been proven, nigga. Look at this shit. It's been proven. Look around you. Now, you have to choose how you want to have your experience in this state. And you stay indifferent through it all. It's only gonna attract yourself to yourself. And whatever self desires, self achieves. If your self had some knowledge that was 600 billion galaxies away, it's going to get there some way, somehow, because it desires to. All these elements and minerals and things that we're finding in compounds desire to have an experience. So they started to mix. Atoms started to collide. And then they started to provide as they started to interconnect and manifest sun, moon, and stars. From it actually knowing that it exists and it wants to have an experience on every level of existence. Or you don't take my ideology, because this is my shit. That's why I try not to put a bunch of people's shit in here, because you know what I'm saying, I have my own seat. I have my own ideology on things. You feel me? And the things that the CRypTs that I've come through and have crawled up out of and wiped the dirt off of myself of, it was like, made me feel like, hey, if I don't will nothing else well, I wield the power of transmuting this irregular energy into something that will make others around me, which I consider also a level of self, happy. And that will bring myself, the inner self, joy. If that's any emotion I choose to feel. I do shit for people all the time and don't feel happy or sad or pity or none of that shit. I just do. It's just like I said, I was raised in a household where we was taught obligation. You want for your brother what you want for yourself. You obligated to treat the next motherfucker well until they treat you wrong. And then you're obligated to treat them the way they treated you. There was no reasons. You know what I'm saying? And we had the ability to respond to that however the fuck we wanted to. States of mind, different states of being. You take shit differently. People take shit differently. I know I take shit differently all the time. Cause I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm grounded. Yeah, I be so up on cloud nine. I be, you know what I'm saying? I be so deep in the universe. I be deep space nine for real. I be deep in the universe. When I hear certain things, it don't register to me on a third dimensional level. It kind of registered me on like a sixth dimensional level. You know what I'm saying? Or fifth. Maybe not even that high. Just no, yeah, it's past the fifth. Cause it be analyzing shit already. Like, motherfucker, like, you trying to blow one? I'm like, shit, I'm blowing them all the time. Always blowing one. Like, and that's thinking of, you know what I'm saying? Me using my spiritual energy to breath my life. The when I'm talking to people like this, when I'm teaching shit like this, when I'm building, when I'm cracking out, I don't do this shit all the time. It's a waste of my breath because this is my logos. This is my God energy. This is the tool that I use in order to interact with the environment or respond properly. You know what I mean? And the way I choose to respond is not due anymore to the way that I was brought up or even anything that somebody's going to tell me or somebody's already told me. I'll never bow to another man's ideology, but I'll always take lessons and tools and you know what I'm saying. I you know what I'm saying. I take a screw here, a screw there, but I'm not gonna eat your whole plate. I take the meat and leave the bone, and then after that, the meat gonna turn to shit, and I'm gonna shit it out, and I ain't gonna have nothing but nutrients in my body in order to give growth to a higher being, so my body can sustain on a higher level. All because of my state of mind. Yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and get off this bitch. I ain't did a video in a while. I'm gonna start trying to pop through and do these a little more often to sustain my state of mind. Not for nobody else, but for me, for my mental health. Because I done came to a degree in life, I done came to a certain mental measure to where self is like your body don't really even want to sustain on this realm because I done unlocked the gate to everything here. And as I unlock the gate to everything here, it don't do nothing but deal with my supreme self in almost a sick way. You know what I'm saying? A sick way. I say it's sick is because it's like it's going back into an interdimensional process. Like it's evil and good, hatred and love to the extreme. Like there's no differentiating the two because they all manifest themselves from the same energy. Yet they only become dynamics when they have to be put into categories when it comes to dealing with us humans and our fucking minds. States, these fucking states. Like every state in the United States is not the same. Let's keep this on a small scale. I'm gonna go ahead and get this build. I'm gonna give 3 cards for energy and I'm out. Uh Now we all got different states, right? Yeah, each one of these states got different laws. Each one of these states have different ways of doing shit, different restaurants, uh, different vernacular, even sometimes a whole different language, different customs. You know what I mean? This is just in the United States of America, right? And then you got this nigga, the president, who's the supreme self, who everything has to fall up under, and he has to control these different states of being that have all these different laws to the way that they want to exist and sustain on their realm. or your rent. Depends on how you rule it. And history teaches you how to rule yourself properly. They show motherfuckers who failed and motherfuckers who succeeded. You know, depending on, like I said, your state of mind. Your state of mind manifests your whole state of being. Your state of being is going to manifest in your environment, your clothing. In my case, it was my skin, my health. It was my financial stability. Um, it affected a lot of shit just because I started to think less of myself, especially when I'm a person who knows better. When you a person who knows better, it seemed like the bullet hits you a little harder because you ran at the motherfucker. You knew from the gate that this motherfucker just upped the burner, he pulled the trigger, and he firing towards you. Why would you run towards the bullet too? You know what I'm saying? Hopefully this one won't kill you because motherfucker, you knew better. That's how it is for people like me, people who know better. You know what I'm saying? Way the good with the bad. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, living in that interdimensional space, living in that, you know what I mean? That simultaneous world, you know what I'm saying? I can't see it as a good thing or a bad thing. I just see it as me having the ability to respond. And the only way to respond properly is to respond in a way that you feel is necessary. Some people feel violence is necessary all the time. I don't feel like that's necessary all the time. Some people feel like raising your voice is necessary all the time. I don't. Not to say that their method don't work. They should probably popping. They should probably doing a Watusi. They should, you know what I'm saying, getting them, you know what I'm saying, riches. That's not my way of doing shit. That's not, I don't have that ability to respond to the world like that. And people, that's why us as black people in the black community have the biggest problem. We don't respect the fact that other people don't have the ability to respond like other people. Now, my phone died too. I was gonna Google ability. But nigga, we know ability is something that you can learn. You know what I'm saying? But ain't nobody got the time to learn everything. Is that really the definition for ability? I want to get the real definition so we can break this shit down real quick for that. Let me see here.
Ability.
No, hold on. Now it says, I'm gonna have to read that shit. Possession of the means or skill of doing something. Now, to possess something is, you know, to have it, to control it. You know what I'm saying? To possess. And it says possessed by, let me see. We're gonna break this shit down. Possession of the means or skill. So if you have the means to do something, or you have the skill to do something, that is an ability. So we all have minds. So that means we all must possess the ability to use it. The same way on some level. Yet, why doesn't that shit manifest itself in the physical plane? Why isn't the average person thinking that, like, if I thought of this, maybe a million other people thought of it? Why isn't a million other people like, oh, yeah, I'm glad that man thought of that? You know what I'm saying? Why isn't a million other people projecting this type of energy? Because that's not what's propagated in these states of being. So you have to go to the deepest, inner, darkest places of yourself and see self, build with self, and deal with self. You have to accept self to the fullest degree. Because one thing I like to propagate to the people I fuck with is, if you love somebody, you have to love them regardless of who and what the fuck they is. If you made a vow, here's me and my obligation teaching again, because I was born in an obligation teachable house. If a motherfucker tells you, you my nigga, I love you forever, that's that. What's mine is yours, what's yours is mine. To me, you know what I'm saying? What I want for my brother, I want for myself type shit. Like, to me, that shit, that you can't come back from that. Yet another part of myself thinking like now, like, damn, I used to be like that with some niggas, but them same niggas tried to kill me. But everybody don't possess that experience, that skill to see shit like that. But at the same time, that was only me about to kill me for bowing down to something outside of myself. You see what I'm saying? What you desire, the universe gives you, because you own the universe. You are a universe in itself. Anyway, let's get to these cards, man. Trying to cleanse my area. What's today? Thursday, November 21st, 2019. Isis Oracle deck. We're gonna do this one. We're gonna do it for what? So next got this week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Let's do it for 21, 22, and 23. First card coming out the Isis Oracle deck. Daily states. That's what I'm going to start doing, like 3-day states of mind. Like the universal energy show me 3 states of mind, or 1 state of mind from this electromagnetic energy source that we may be able to tap into to conquer the day of Thursday, November 21st, 2019. And I don't know how y'all fuck with y'all answers, but I fuck with mine to the fullest. They know I'm elegant. They know me. High Priestess. A mystery is to be unveiled. A new clarity around your direction is unfolding. Be willing to wait for the full reveal, but also recognize what is happening at this time. You will be gaining valuable insight into where you are being led and for what purpose. And y'all need to see what it's worth. Card kind of pop. That's that supreme guidance. Stay in the energy that you know best. You know what I'm saying? You know not to fuck with certain people. You know not to go certain places. Sometimes you just feel that. Listen to it. Because when I felt that, I did something to end up in prison for 4 years. All right. Going into the Buddhist wisdom shakti. You know what I'm saying? I only mess with the earth and the Eastern traditions because they understood the science of as above, so below. So below, as above. Inner center, outer center. That type of shit. Okay. What energy do we have? So, 2019. What energy will help us focus and get through this particular day? Yeah, I just ride my frequency. Ever since I tapped in, I ain't tapped out. I just ride the frequency. It's a Garuda, protector from the serpent race. Raise your eyes to a bird in flight to connect to the divine. The protector of the serpent race. You know you can do this shit. Stop looking outside of yourself for help or direction. You first have to guide yourself to that water where you would never be thirsty. And she ain't talking about no physical bird. She talking about look to your accomplishments. Look at what you've accomplished, how far you come. You got 100% success rate of going through shit and coming out alive. You still here. It's a reason that you use your sword. Perfect yourself in your craft. And then I'm gonna do this Messenger Oracle deck. It's funny how this deck came to me. Maybe I'll tell y'all the story one day, but this deck actually came to me. I wanted it, but I just wouldn't buy it. I bought another deck. I ended up buying Isis deck. Somebody bought this deck. They kind of shunned it and it pushed on me, and it came to me, and it's been beautiful to me ever since. That ain't nothing but saying that reflection. That ain't nothing but that mirror held itself up to me. You know better than that. Sometimes you gotta get diamonds out of shit, but they still diamonds. It's Saturday, November 23rd. What is the energy that will help us through this? Energy from my soul itself. This is card that popped out. Let's see it. See the signs. See the signs. See the signs. Control your mind first. Then you'll be able to respond properly. Because you got the ability to. We all possess the ability to respond properly. But we all don't possess the ability to know who self is. To be able to respond in our own manners. Peace, travel wise.